Yo, Descendants, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic morning, and with this news it's going to get even better because PoE 2 we have finally got a patch that's going to address so many things that I am super hyped for. The dodge roll changes being one of the biggest things, because that's like probably my biggest gripe with the game right now. I don't mind the loot and everything as it is. It's a little bit stingy on like the loot and currency currently in the game. Well, after this update it's going to be a lot better. But the dodge roll is my #1 pet peeve right now, and a lot of people in my chat as well as comments and stuff have been saying the dodge roll is the most annoying thing. Like 70% of my deaths right now are pretty much from not being able to roll through enemies, and I don't think we're going to be able to fully roll through enemies with this patch, but they said you will be able to roll through like a very small area or something like that between the enemies, because they're going to change like the unit of your character while you are rolling. So really good. Without further ado, I'm just going to hop straight into this patch. We have some loot changes and stuff as well. I will have this whole thing linked down below in the description, so you guys can go through and read through it at your own pace. So first up, Path of Exile 2. Hi everyone, the launch weekend has been a blast. We really enjoyed seeing all of you get your hands on the game and finally try out the project we have been working on for so long. But now that the launch weekend is over, it's time for us to look at the feedback and make some changes. There are a lot of more things coming. The list in the post are some of the things we felt needed to begin urgently addressed. Some of these changes have already been deployed without a realm restart. Others will be deployed in an upcoming patch. So first up, dodge roll changes. A lot of players have expressed frustration about being trapped in by monsters. While it is intended that monsters are able to trap and kill you, we felt the frequency for this was a little too high. We'll be deploying the following changes in an upcoming patch. Player size is now set to 0 units while the dodge rolling instead of 1 unit. So some smaller monsters can now be pushed while dodge rolling. This includes monsters such as the Adonal beetles in Keth. Alright, this should result in getting trapped less often. Note that you can still be trapped. A player size of 0 can still not phase through monsters, but it can get through even the smallest gap between them. So that's going to make it so much easier to actually go ahead and get through monsters. I can't wait for that change. Next up, we have the checkpoint changes. A lot of players have been reporting that it can be tedious to need to retread areas of the map in order to get back to objectives they have already found, me being one of them. Move speed, boys. Get move speed. Best stat in the game. We will be deploying the following changes in an upcoming patch. Clicking on a checkpoint will allow you to teleport to the other checkpoints in the area that are explored on your map. So finding those little checkpoints that restore your mana and your MP and everything and your health, way more important now. Grab those because you can't teleport between them. Checkpoints have been added to all entrances and exits of the zones to allow for teleportation. A checkpoint has been added to the midpoint of the first Dreadnought area. Nice, because that place is freaking huge. We'll be making further adjustments to checkpoint position as we continue to gather feedback. Next up, we have item changes. One of the major problems that players have been experiencing is feeling that the game is not rewarding enough. This is an area that we have to be very careful about when adjusting, because it's very hard to reduce drops if we increase them by too much. We have identified a few key areas that we believe will significantly improve the experience that players are having. Now I am very grateful for these changes coming, because I did feel a little bit like the reward was not worth the challenge. Like some of these bosses, some of the act bosses, I'll be beating them, and like after half an hour of trying to get them down, I finally get them down and I get a bunch of blues. Not even a single yellow. All I was asking for literally in my stream like 2 days ago was to I'm not asking to get everything for free. I'm just asking to get one guaranteed yellow item per boss. I mean, it's a campaign boss. It's like a big act boss or something like that, to at least just get one guaranteed yellow. And lo and behold, here we go. Rare monster changes. We felt that rare monsters were not rewarding enough. This didn't affect the campaign as much because there are more unique bosses, increasing the overall amount of drops, but it's especially noticeable while playing in the endgame where unique monsters are less common. In particular, the reward that you are getting for the increased difficulty of rares wasn't lining up. So we have deployed the following changes. Rarity bonuses per rare mod has been doubled. 10% quantity bonus per rare mod, and increase the chance of rare monsters inherently having more modifiers as you progress through the endgame. And obviously we know more modifiers means more chance at loot. These changes will cause rare monsters rewards to naturally scale up as you get higher levels, because the number of mods a monster can have increases throughout the campaign and into endgame. In addition, many other forms of map juicing will indirectly cause rare monsters to have more mods as well, increasing the rewards of these mechanics too. Also note the changes below to make sure each map has a minimum number of rares, which will also increase the average number of rare mods, and thus increasing drops further. Next up, we have the currency changes. We felt the players were not getting enough of a certain currency either early in the game or to sustain adding mods to the maps. We have deployed the following changes. Regal Orb drop rate increased to 40%, well, increased by 40%. Disenchanting of 6 mod rares to give 2 regal shards instead of 1. Lesser jeweler orbs drop rates have been increased by around 33%. Reduce the drop rates of the chaos orbs slightly as they are less valued and so it doesn't consume so much of the rare currency drop pool. This causes currencies such as exalted orbs to increase somewhat. So they can reduce chaos orbs to increase everything indirectly, so everything else should be dropping more often. Gem cutter prisms drop rates increased by 500%. Oh, those are actually in the game. Well, that's new to me. Gem cutter prism now increases quantity on gems by 5% instead of 1%. So you'll need fewer of them, and they also have a much higher chance to actually go ahead and drop now. Moving on to the map mod changes. Like with rares, we felt that players were not being rewarded enough for the difficulty they were being added by the map mods. We have significantly increased the value of all prefixes map mods. We have changed all map prefix mods, but some examples changes we have deployed are: rarity mods have been increased by 2.5x. Quantity mods have had an extra rarity added to them. This is now in a later patch, so that's not in this hotfix right now. We removed the bottom of tier of some of the mods. You are much more likely to roll modifiers that affect drops or pack size rather than the less useful mods. That's great, because last night when I was doing maps, most of them were pretty bad, like the stuff you could get on them. In addition, it has been identified that some areas are not being affected by the increased number of monster packs mod, as they should be. We will be fixing these maps to work currently in a later patch. So soon, TM. Unlucky drop protection. This over here, boys, is my favorite one. It's literally what I was just talking about before with like the act bosses not giving anything. So one of the major issues we have identified was the outlier unlucky drops, aka Augiesaint. Oh, sorry, it's not the patch notes. A single unique boss dropping badly, especially early on, can significantly affect your character. Thank you, man, because you know how hard I struggled to get through Act 3 on my lightning build with not a single lightning piece. But anyway, now we won't have that effect again. We have deployed the following changes. No more than 50% of a unique monster's drop pool can be gold. Amazing. Act bosses and map bosses will always drop at least 1 rare. Absolutely outstanding. GGG. I would love to say GG. The first of these changes is more significant than it first appears because players can't see the difference between normal and rare gold piles. You'll get more equipment and currency items which can take more advantage of the rarity increase that unique monsters provide. So basically, by removing that 50% of the gold, we can like add, or we're going to get that replaced by pretty much currency items, all that kind of stuff. So it is quite a big change. And then moving down, click to move. There's an issue where the move only command was name locking. This would often result in your character confusingly attacking in an unexpected direction while holding down this action. We have deployed the following changes. Move only no longer name locks. I don't think I've had that happen to me yet, and I've pretty much been playing with click all the way. And then next we have endgame maps. A concern for players in endgame maps is accidentally missing rare monsters. In addition, many maps did not have the number of rare monsters that they should have had. We'll be making the following changes in an upcoming patch. Rare monsters now appear on the minimap when there is 200 monsters remaining instead of 50. Many maps have had an additional rare monsters added to them to make sure that there are minimum numbers in every map type. Over the coming weeks, we'll be continuing to work on map layouts and monster density issues in the maps. Huge, because maps is literally what the endgame is all about. And then the conclusion is we'll be posting patch notes for these changes when they're deployed. For a full list of what's been deployed, check out the patch notes here. There's still a lot more changes to come. These are just some of the changes that are fast for us to make. We'll be continuing to monitor feedback and adjusting things as we go. GG games. I just want to say GG, great patch. My biggest thing is the dodge thing is being changed, like the dodge thing I told you guys about earlier, as well as the unique bosses guaranteeing 1 rare item. That's all I ask for. I don't want 100 rare items. I don't want a full build. I just want 1 yellow item for killing a act boss, because that feels really bad, killing a big boss and struggling to actually beat it, and you get absolutely nothing. So amazing patch. Can't wait to see where we go with this game. I'm really excited, and I cannot pull myself away from it. I had to literally like scrape myself away from playing to come and make this video so we can get back to streaming and blasting away. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please drop a like and sub to the channel. Helps me out so much, and I'll catch you beautiful people on the streams as well as the next video. Augiesaint now.
Run free and dive into the sky.